Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Not Another Podcast. I am your host, Goddess Elizabeth, and I am going to make a very quick, brief, opinionated statements on what's going down with Diddy and the elite and a lot of those CEOs and leaders in Hollywood and why they're stepping down and residing and how much deeper this goes into. So today I really want to talk about the more darker side of the events which Hollywood and some other creators may not be comfortable with covering right now, but I feel a little bit more comfortable talking about this. So this is where I'm going to bring up the situation where everyone is calling these freak offs. Everywhere you look, on the news, TMZ, all of the gossip channels, everyone is saying that these are freak offs. I want to call it for what it is. These are downright rituals. These are sex magic rituals that are being performed by these warlocks. And for the first part of it, let me break down what the word warlock means so that I can give a little bit more introductions on what warlock is. A warlock is a man who practices witchcraft or wizard or sorcery. As the most common accepted etymology derives warlock from the Old English warloga, which means breaker of oaths or deceiver. The term came to apply especially to the devil around 1000 AD. Now, with Puff Daddy, or Sean Combs, should I say, doing a lot of the things that he's that are being held against him in the allegations that they're speaking upon him at this time, it really makes you think about all of the so-called tapes and sexual acts and things that he had going on in these parties that only a certain amount of Hollywood were able to attend by invite only, and what they were doing with the minors, and the way Justin Bieber and Orlando Brown and a lot of these other young stars, how they turned out to become homosexual after these parties they went to. And when you're looking at the situation with Meek Mills here, and we all heard that that playback of Meek Mills and Diddy having their little things going on. So I did a little bit more research, and I wanted to know, with sex magic and these rituals when it comes to homosexuality and with men, how does this, how does this feed, the propaganda of them doing this for power? Because I know when you're performing these rituals and things of that sort, especially with, magic, when you're doing these type of rituals, the sexual energy is very heightened. So as you're looking at Sean Combs having a Scorpio energy in his chart twice, it lets me know that he really does have a lot of sexual energy. So with him using his sexual energy, being a Scorpio, being very taboo, very into the occult, and very into, things of that matter, it makes me see the case for what it really is. It's a big ritual that's been exposed, finally. So I see here in this, I'm going to reference something from a website called Talker of the Town, and it's about the history of sex magic, the natural history of sex magic. And it speaks about Aleister Crowley, and it speaks about how he was able to communicate with certain demons or entities through working with sex magic, and was able to gain a lot of his manifestations and his desires simply because he was working under that energy of sex and torment and homosexuality. So it says here that masturbating on a sigil of a demon or meditating upon the image of a phallus would bring power or communication with a divine being. Now, as I'm looking at all of this, Puffy had an empire going, and he did a lot of sacrifices, with Biggie and, Craig Mack, Black Rob, just to speak of a few of the artists that he really did wrong, the band, all of these people that he ran over and made these sacrifices with them on a more physical level, and then here on sexual levels of all these people that he's been doing these rituals with. So it says here, mostly homosexual degree, one identifies oneself with a, a male's part, in that the blood or excrement from anal intercourse attracts the spirit slash demon while the sperm keeps them alive. Now that first and foremost brought me back to I'm wondering if the reason why we saw that photo of Meek Mills in that pool with them shorts on is if he thought that the chlorine would kill the sperm. I wonder if anybody would let him know that that does not work and that sperm was still alive and whatever spirit that they were entertaining that night was still able to eat off of his energy and off of his life force. So seeing how Diddy, if he's being initiated to be a warlock, they have had a good time with him. His good run is over, but now it seems like if, what's done in the dark is coming to the light, and his run is now over. And he had a good empire. Everything lasted while it could, but karma finally caught up, and that's the end of his story. But what do you think about these statements here today, ladies and gentlemen? Please leave a comment down below, and if you like this subject, please like and subscribe for more. This is Elizabeth, Goddess to those who know me, and I am signing out here from today's Not Another podcast. Have a great one.